acoustic song in the middle of the show that'll start in about 20-25 minutes from now. And then they're going to play another song at the end of the show and just fade to black. So the whole show is going to be about an hour. Other than that, man, we're going to bust right into this. So we have a bunch of questions that were submitted in the past, like through social media to us, just wanting to understand about the project and the crowd sale and what we got coming up and everything. So, and one more thing. If you're watching on Facebook, just type in your question. If you have a question, we'll answer some of those here live as well. So, first question. One more thing. We got Jonathan Tripp and Jen Nelson of VitMug are producing this show, so I want to thank them too, running the controls behind the scenes. Anyway, so I think we're going to do some pop-up questions here. So the first one is, how does this project benefit consumers? How does it benefit the artist? And why would anyone invest in MCI, which is actually the ticker symbol for our new token that's coming on the market? So Elio, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Well, I guess we want to start by saying that, especially with Brian having been an artist for such a long time, there is a lot of constraint in the music economy in general. And I think, we've seen a lot of various models, especially since the advent of the internet with file sharing and, going from the old legacy music industry to where we are now. There's been a lot of change, a lot of turmoil, and a lot of just things not working very well. And it has an effect on artists, it has an effect on consumers, it has an effect on the industry in general. There's so much money to be made. There's such an economy there that could be thriving, and it's not. We hear from our community who are, listeners and who are enthusiasts when it comes to music, and they look for ways to enjoy music, but in a lot of ways they struggle a lot of times to get what they want the way they want it. And we hear from artists, artists in particular, and then when you talk about investors, there's opportunity here, there's value, there's an economy that's just waiting to explode and to boom, really. And Musiconomi is all about bringing all of that together, having the value contributions from the community, which includes the investors, includes the artists and the music enthusiasts and the entrepreneurial music enthusiasts who are going to bring their existing businesses and their business ideas to generate a music economy that really thrives and works for everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. And I would echo those sentiments. And then the next question, we're kind of jumping around. We have a certain order here. They're not all totally, connected and I guess sequential in terms of topic here. So the next one we have is, how are you guys going to handle like BMI, ASCAP, SOCAN, like that whole relationship? My quick word on that, just so people know, is those are licensing and royalty companies that have basically kind of been running that whole space for many years, decades. So Brian, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I think they are kind of connected too, David, just from, us realizing that there is something really broken in the legacy system. And rather than, ask for permission or try and get their buy-in from these agencies, what we need to do is create what we're creating, because the focus is on the artists and the entrepreneurs who are going to drive this space. If we do a good job, or when we do a good job, these people recognize that they'll come and we'll figure out and we'll help them integrate into what we're doing. The other way around could take forever and ever and ever. And that's, then we're contributing to, the agencies that have actually, broken the legacy system. So yeah, I think we're going to avoid that altogether. It's not what MCI is here for. It's to actually have solutions to these problems and make sure that we get the economy together again.
Yeah, that question came through Slack. I remember I gave a quick response to that as well. I'm just like, I don't think that's the right question. I think the better question is, what are they going to do as, the blockchain keeps expanding and both fans and artists are migrating towards that, you know, because like the question was at us, it was just like, oh, how are you going to deal with them, as if they're just like going to step in and try and take over the blockchain or something. Like they're going to be well behind the curve very soon, you know. So yeah.
You think about, you know, how far behind they are on you know, payments, like it just in terms of schedule and money, and it's really alarming. I got a check yesterday. I won't say which agency in particular,
Yeah.
but it was for $44, and it was for a full year and a full year behind. So
Right.
I have no loyalty there. My loyalty is to, you know, empower artists and the entrepreneurs that, you know, create the content and who are going to bring real true value.
Cool. All right, so let's move on. The next question. You say this project is built on blockchain technology. So is this based off an existing cryptocurrency like Bitcoin just to leverage the existing economy? Or are specific blockchain features being used? Elio, take it.
Okay, so I mean, I think most of our community realizes that we all came together as, you know, team members, and, you know, some of us were actually founders of the Musicoin blockchain, and so we had a lot of experience working with that blockchain, with that system, with that platform, with that community, and it really formed a test net for us to look at, you know, what was working, what could be done better, what we needed to expand on, and, you know, how we really needed to grow. And so, you know, blockchain, we always got to remind ourselves that it's really in its infancy, and there are just so many solutions coming online all the time that are solving all kinds of problems. And so, you know, we recognized some of the problems, we recognized, you know, obviously some of the solutions, and I guess the convenient thing, the more rational thing, really would have been to just, you know, go along and ride upon the Musicoin blockchain. And, you know, that was always an option. I guess it's still an option. It looks like it's probably a decent option, but it may not be the best option. So, you know, we're looking at all of the state-of-the-art technologies that are available to us today, and we're, you know, we're tweaking things, and we're evaluating things, and we're having these conversations with the community to, you know, bring in the absolute best of everything out there to, you know, build on our experience, and going forward to build something that's really sustainable and solid, that can, you know, really build on itself going forward.
Absolutely sound. Yeah, I think we threw a curveball at Jonathan right now. I think we skipped a question, but just so we're back, Jonathan, quick word. We're gonna move to question 5 in that document that we shared with you. So, next question will be, why not just use Ethereum instead of creating a whole new cryptocurrency or a new token? Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a newbie question, but there's a lot of newbies out there. So again, that's back on you, Elio.
Well, I think it, you know, really follows from the previous question, and so initially when we were looking at exclusively a pay-per-play model, it just doesn't work with the Ethereum blockchain. It really required its own token, and it requires, you know, special considerations. You know, you're talking about the potential for, you know, millions of microtransactions, and, you know, Ethereum at this point is not really set up for that. So it's
Right.
part of our development process to, you know, establish the mechanisms, the design structure, and have something that's going to be sustainable that we can manage. And, you know, that's really why we're going to need our own token. Whether we were going to go on the Musicoin blockchain or not, we're going to need our own token that's going to represent the value and integrate with and form the basis of the system that we're building.
Right, exactly. So I know Elio kind of addressed some of this stuff, Brian, but this next question, if you want to take this one, is like elevator pitch. Like, what is Musiconomi? What problem does Musiconomi aim to solve, just in general? I mean, if Brian.
Yeah, I think you know, the primary focus is to eliminate intermediaries that don't bring value, or of questionable value, I guess. Really, we want to make sure that anybody who's who's part of this is really sort of, well, responsible for what they're bringing. It's not, gone are the days of just, holding your hand out and waiting for that 10%, 20% or whatever. Anybody who's here has to be responsible. That's why blockchain, and that's why, it's sort of the epitome of why anybody would use it. It's, transparent, it's secure, it's global, it's borderless. For all those reasons, we can now ask the intermediaries to take responsibility for what they're actually offering, and who's going to stand up and offer that.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, we got almost 30 people in here live, which is cool, and we're also pushing to YouTube. And this will all be archived, and we'll be sharing it on social. So yeah, people in the chat, ask some questions. We have our other co-founders here, Jared Grigo. He's manning the chat. He's gonna put the questions in the doc, and we'll address them. And we got Motorleague coming up in about 10 minutes. So all right, let's do a couple more here. All right, Elio, this one's for you, man. Is there a model? I know, like earlier there was like a pay-per-play versus subscription. This has kind of been bubbling up in Slack and even internally with our team. Like, the question is there a model where you pay a fiat amount per month and it'll be split between those who have to listen, or will is it always going to be pay-per-play?
So one of the principle of pay-per-play, it's really one of the concepts that really supports the artist, because it lets the artist see exactly what is being listened to, and it's directly paying them. They're getting remunerated in a really direct way. So we like that. We've always liked that. At the same time, we also recognize that we have a range of users and listeners with different habits, and some of them are really they really like a subscription model, and so we don't accept that there has to be a binary choice. We're looking at a number of hybrid type solutions that can stay sort of philosophically true to the pay-per-play, but then also add elements of a subscription type model. So there are a number of them that we're in discussion with. We've got some really good input and feedback and suggestions from the community. It's an ongoing discussion, and I mean, something we're really happy that's it's showing that interest and that engagement from the community. And we're going to come up with something, like I said earlier, that's not just good, not just sufficient, something that's going to be optimal, that's going to support our the long-term sustainability of the platform, and make sure that all the different needs and requirements and desires of the different users are going to be accommodated. And also, the same thing for the artists, and it's got to work for everybody.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. So next question, it's actually right back at you, Elio, is this: we have a crowd sale coming up very soon. We'll be announcing that date very soon. Some people have been asking, like, what's the crowd sale structure? Like, total tokens issued? Is there a cap, contract length? Just, I mean, is there anything that you can expand on, I guess, that part today?
So the most current finalized information that we have is what's published on the website, and it's that there's a hard cap of $6 million, and there's a total number of tokens being released to the public of 25 million, which is exactly 25%, and 25% are being withheld for future purposes, and then there's an allocation for strategic partners. And that's really something that it's a key part of what we're doing, because we recognize that in the current or the legacy system, you have a lot of players that are really itching to get involved with what's coming, and they've seen blockchain, they're interested in it, they don't necessarily know a lot about it. And we started having conversations with some of them, and you might have seen we just signed a partnership agreement with a fairly significant label in Sweden called Substream.
Yep.
There are a lot of those out there, and so the partnerships are part of it. And we're going to have more crowd sale details coming over the next 3 to 4 days that are going to give you all the information that you need to know.
Awesome. Yeah, we actually, I believe it's Hawken. He's the founder, owner of Substring. We just added as an advisor to this project. So that's some cool news. He's on the website now, which is musiconomy.com. I believe it's in the lower third, possibly. All right, we'll do one more question, then we'll bring on Motorleague. So it's like, I mean, I'm sure people can kind of tell we love talking about like the music aspect and development and the partnerships and everything, but yes, there's, you know, the supporters, the early adopters. It's going to be a tradable token, so there are questions, you know, just about that side of it. So the next one is, when's it going to be available on the exchanges? Like, how long does that take, you know, for people that are contributing to the crowd sale? I believe Elio can answer that one too.
Okay, well, I mean, it's the kind of thing that, you know, after the crowd sale, you know, we'll take the, usually it's, you know, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, could be a month. It's not going to be a long period of time, but there's some processing, there's some paperwork to happen. And, you know, it's something that we'll get to once the crowd sale is done. I would say, you know, probably within a month, you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's kind of
And
a
also-
standard length. Yeah, Brian, you want to say a few words?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to add to that. Like we definitely are targeting some of the larger exchanges, simply to make sure that we can support integration, make sure that everything is good and cohesive for anybody who's taking part in it.
All right, cool. All right, we're gonna bring on the Motor League. They've been sitting patiently in the green room, ready to express their music to the world. But had a few questions for them first. So it's Don and his wife.
My wife, that's okay.
Yes. How are you today, Don?
Good. I just got a promotion. It's good.
Oh,
Got a marital promotion from you guys.
oh, is it girlfriend? I'm sorry. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
All
Okay.
good.
All right. So first question we had for you is, why were you first attracted to the Musiconomi project? I know Brian introduced this to you, but you got more active. It's like, what about this project interests you?
I think the idea of it for me is right now in the current streaming platform, if you pay you know, $10, I'm paying $10 a month for, you know, one of the major streaming platforms. And I really like this band called the Thermals. And I listen to the Thermals on the streaming platform all the time, but how much of my $10 do they see? And looking at, you know, from being an artist, the answer is zero. I mean, we have, I think like 500,000 plays on there. And if I looked at that and said, well, 500,000 plays, it should be, you know, a penny a play, that'd be $5,000 in royalties, but we've never seen anything remotely
Yeah.
even close to that. So what that means is that, you know, all of our music is up there and it's fractions of a penny per spin, which is fine. But the problem is, you know, I'm still a paying customer and my money's going to artists who are much higher up on the curve that don't.
Yeah, so it's a broken system, Don. I mean, we've been chatting in Slack for months about these aspects. I mean, Spotify, SoundCloud are usually kind of right in that discussion of,
Right.
you know, the broken financial model. But anyway, next question, like what are your biggest challenges as a recording and a touring act in just the current climate, and how do you see Musiconomi helping in that?
Well, it's just bringing it back to, you know, like if you're getting paid per play, you know, it's a fair system. And I can go out and say, well, you know, we got this many plays, we got paid this much, and it's fair. And then you can kind of manage your money. But I mean, obviously, the financials are the hardest. That's the biggest challenge, is just keeping it afloat. If you were one guy or girl on the road, that'd be one thing. But you know, we've got 4 members, and you know, trying to feed 4 people with, you know, any small business, you know, that starts up with 4 employees right away.
I mean, will
That's
Brian's
tough.
royalty check help out? I mean, it was $44, right?
Well, and
I'm
just
happy to
it.
donate.
That's the biggest thing, though. It's just keeping it financially afloat, trying to steer that ship, and you know, trying to still pay your rent and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So one more. You actually have 3 top 20 hits in Canada. That's pretty cool. You got a killer live show. You got a bunch of supportive fans. what's next just for your band over the next year or so, just like recording, touring, or anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still living in that cycle of like, you know, put out an album tour, put out an album tour, and I think that we're maybe coming to the end of that. It's hard to say, but for us, it's right now it's record, record, record. We're in that phase where the album's 2 years old, so now you know it's no longer relevant. So we got to put more music out. We got to make sure the music's good.
All right, awesome, man. Don, first tune, all
right.
the words, take it away.
This one's for Brian. Here you go.
Only argument that a man can never win is the one that stops his head from having it. Ever since I've seen you in your element, I grow my soul in the depths of submission. Whoa, now I'm only singing songs about you. Whoa, now I'm only here for you. Then I'll go. Whoa, now I'm only here if you see me. Whoa, so find me hanging from your song tonight. I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words. The place for me is here tonight. I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words. This downward spiral that you were no doubt included with was never my idea of a real good time. Even though I never asked for your consent, I wanna be pulled down with the sense of fulfillment. Whoa, now I'm only singing songs about you. Whoa, now I'm only here for you. Then I'll go. Whoa, and I'm only here if you see me. Whoa, so find me hanging from your song tonight. I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words. The only place for me is here tonight. I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words. Oh, and I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words. Oh, I'm singing all the words. I'm singing all your words.
Oh yeah. Yes. Can we patch in like a crowd clapping right now? Oh, we'll do
That
it
would
next
feel
time.
better. That would really break up that awkward
Yeah,
silence.
I know. It's just Brian in the front row at
Yeah.
like
Was
a
it
dive
my-
bar.
Well, just you know, my face actually hurts from smiling and
Yeah.
bobbing my head. So
All right, Don. Yeah, we'll bring you guys back in about 20 minutes to
Sure,
play
we'll be
your last tune. That was awesome, man. All right, so Jonathan, in terms of the past questions, we just have one more in terms of the pop-up box, and this is interesting. It's a short question. It says, "Are you hiring? Are you guys hiring? If yes, where do we send the resume?" I mean, this is something that's just been surprising. I mean, I know we got like a huge buzz going on with this project, but going back months, man, my own DMs, it's been a constant stream of people saying, "Are you hiring? You got a job?" It's like, "Can I get in? Like, what do you need? Can I do some marketing? Can I do some just like constantly." I've never seen that online. I've been working online since 01. I've never seen like such a rush of people wanting to be a part of this project, just support it, work there, everything. So I just think that's amazing. But the answer is after the crowd sale. So it's like, you know, within a couple weeks, we're going to be starting to interview some people and just get those discussions going. What can you do right now? Add us on LinkedIn. You know, reach out to us on LinkedIn and just connect with us on Slack, Facebook, anything. Just start the conversation, because we're going to want to get to know the people if we're going to be hiring them. So, but yes, we will be. And the answer is just reach out for right now. And we're going to start the discussion in a few weeks. So, all right, we're going to get to some of the live questions that have come through. Oh, we got a bunch here. I just looked at this. This is cool. Okay. A nice stream coming through. All right. And thanks for everyone watching. This is cool. First question. I think I'm going to throw this at Brian.
Oh,
Yeah. Put on the spot, man. Improv skills, got to be sharp. All right. How do you plan on educating the market about this revolutionary platform?
it's something that we've talked about quite a bit, and Elio has always been from the beginning such an advocate of educating people in the space. So, you know, talking about you know, educating artists so that they understand the crypto space and blockchain, and how to even set up a wallet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also trying to, you know, sort of bridge that gap between being an artist and an entrepreneur and bringing them together. So I think that, you know, there are summits all over the world. There are Canadian Music Week, South by Southwest, all these other things that we can participate in, where we can actually set up camp and start to physically be present and educate people and let, you know, go, hey, here's a wallet, you know, this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Beyond that, it's like, I mean, we're going to be doing tutorial videos on all aspects of this business. We're going to be, what we're doing right now, we're going to be doing more live streams, you know, just the Q&A.
Oh, those things too. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but anyway, so yeah, cool. I mean, we got so much planned over the next few months, you know. It's just, like our primary focus is the crowd sale. There's so much work to do to prepare for it. But anyway, moving on. So Co-Found It is our distributed VC blockchain partner. They've kind of guided us through so many steps in this process. So the question is, how'd you find out about Co-Found It, and what made you reach out to them, Elio?
So, well, you know, I followed and I actually participated in the Economy crowd sale last year, and I followed them along. And earlier this year, when we were working on the Musicoin project, and we got to that point where, okay, you know, everything was working and we built something really cool, and it was time to grow and expand. It was like, okay, well, now it's time to go out and, you know, fund the scaling of this project. You know, we bootstrapped and we self-funded for a long time, and now we had something to take out there to present to people on a bigger scale. And I just started looking around, and we have a really vibrant blockchain community here in Toronto. And I started looking around at what was available here, and I came across the Co-Found It website just looking around, and I reached out to Yan in the Slack, and he suggested that I connect with Daniel. We had a chat, and we got together and we did a little workshop, and we just kind of hit it off, and a lot of really good ideas started to flow, and it's been a perfect fit ever since, and it's just been a real pleasure to work with them. And it was, the timing couldn't have been better for us, and it's been great.
Cool. So, I think we could expand on this question, Brian. I think we could find a couple tangents off this, but what would be your dream band or artist to partner with for your platform? I mean, we're already reaching out. We already had, like Mike Turner. I know he's in the chat. He's your buddy from Our Lady Peace, who you used to tour with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, are there certain bands or artists that you're planning on having some conversation with about this?
Well, You know what, without sounding too disingenuous, I just want to work with you know, bands and artists that actually want to work with us. And I think that that's like one of the big disconnects and miscommunication in the, you know, the legacy system, is that, you know, if something becomes a priority and it's not necessarily a priority for us, we just want to work with good people who are into what we're doing and vice versa, and help bring the best music that we can out that way, and empower artists to be able to sustain their living and livelihood. So, you know, like with the cats from Motorleague, they're one of my favorite bands, not, you know, from East Coast Canada or from Canada, but like on a world stage in the world, they're one of my favorite bands. So I look at a band like that who are open and are, you know, writing great songs and, you know, want to sort of take the next step. And how does it happen? Well, with, you know, good support and good understanding from a, you know, a community that's going to be engaged and active and supporting each other in all these things. So yeah, without, you know, at the risk of sounding disingenuous, people that want to work with us, that's who we want to work with. And most of the guys that I want to work with are dead anyway, because they're like, you know, cats from the 60s and 70s, you know. So
Well, they can be here in spirit, I hope.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, the next question is just kind of similar. Is like, I guess we mentioned Mike, but who have we already partnered with? Maybe you want to list some of our artist ambassadors and maybe some of our advisors. Brian, take another crack, man.
Yeah, we actually, well, Hawken from Substream, of course. Hawken had a, you know, has been sort of kind of floating around for a bit, and actually reached out to a bunch of labels on our behalf, and we had crazy, overwhelming interest from labels over in Europe. Actually, about 35 or 40 lists that he sent along that we'll get into after. We have ML Michael, who's a brilliant young singer out of the UK. The Winter, who lent music to our video for the crowd sale that Tristan, one of our advisors, actually put together. The Motorleague, Mike Turner. There are other people in the works, but just can't really talk about it right now. But we're getting there. It's a good list, and we're approaching a lot of good people.
Awesome. Quick check, Jonathan. Are we still live? Okay, cool. My tablet is messed up or something. All right. So moving on, we have there's a question from Jan from Co-Founded, I believe. Will you be able to purchase artist merchandise on the Musiconomi platform? Elio? Either of you guys jump in.
Yeah, well, it's a great question, and it's a resounding yes. Not only are we looking to, you know, bring in sort of a storefront type concept, you know, any music related business or organization or any interested party that's in and around the music industry, we're building the tools and the features for them to set up shop and offer what they do. You know, maybe it's transport for, you know, for a band to go on tour. You know, merchandise is, you know, is a pretty obvious one. Things like ticketing. You know, we're talking to music schools, you know, with thousands and thousands of students and, you know, people on their list that want to connect in and offer what they do into the Musiconomi community. This is about growing community. We're not limiting this to anything. You know, there's an article that came out recently, and I talked about Musiconomi being sort of the best aspects of, you know, iTunes and YouTube. And then the more I thought about it, you know, it's really more like an Amazon for music, where, you know, you can get your sheet music, you can get it done, you can buy it, you can sell it. You know, it's that kind of a portal where anything related to music, go into Musiconomi, you can be streaming music, and you can also be, you know, shopping and connecting and participating on multiple levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian, why don't you say a few words and expand on that? I mean, there's other stuff like podcasting and, you know, just
blogging.
So, yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's ultimately, it is, you know, as Elio said, it's every facet of the industry. It's so beyond, you know, the you know, just the streaming thing. And although that is the genesis of, you you know, us and how important that is. There's a bunch of stuff that's broken unless we sort of bring it all together. We're, you know, to quote a friend, a good friend, we're putting a Band-Aid on a sinking canoe, right? So we want to make sure that everybody's included, so that it truly does develop as, you know, the economy that works for everyone. It can't be, you know, working for just us who are running it. It can't be working just for the artists. It can't be working just for consumer. It's everybody. So, you know, I mean, I envision, you know, as we get further down the road, you know, sponsorship packages where we put things together for artists that are, you know, all inclusive, that people back. So you buy your token, you say you want to, you know, back artist X, but you're going to help with their merch, their touring, their EP or single or whatever that happens to be, so that it's one stop. And then you can connect with a guy who's doing, like Elio said, the touring aspect. It's going to be everything.
Awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for something else. I'm excited for one more tune. I think we're gonna just jump to the last song from Motorleague. We got a couple more questions here. I don't follow what they're asking, so I think we should just move on here. So, Don, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, Brian's ready. He's all right. So this last song is called "Wounded Animal." You want to just bust right into it? Let's hear it.
My words were criminal. Once your eyes became my empty vehicle, cursing your name. This need is deplorable, but I'll never stop. I'm saying it's just physical. I know it's not. So don't cut me off. You're all I want. I've got you like a wounded animal, close to the flame. 'Cause I've got you like a wounded animal, afraid. You sound so pitiful. You're caught in a cage. You're breathing like it's plentiful. That's not the case. This pill ain't strong enough. Whoa. This lie ain't big enough. Whoa. So don't cut me off. You're all I want. 'Cause I've got you like a wounded animal, so close to the flame. 'Cause I've got you like a wounded animal, afraid. So tell me every lie you ever told. 'Cause I see them swelling up inside your soul. 'Cause I'll take you in, I'll never let you out. I've got you like a wounded animal. Yes, I've got you like a wounded animal. Yes, I've got you like a wounded animal. Hey.
Yes. Oh, another winner. That was killer.
Thanks, friends.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds fun.
yeah, for people, they're usually full band, you know, electric. I mean, I was saying to Brian earlier, it kind of reminded me a little Foo Fighters, like your full sound.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I would assume you would take that as a compliment.
Man,
I love Foo Fighters, but yeah. So at the Motor League is their handle. You know, check them on Twitter, Facebook. Is there? You guys got a website or anything else you want to say before
Oh yeah,
you leave?
Motorleague.ca. We got you. We're on YouTube. All that stuff, man. All the good stuff, and soon to be on Musiconomi as well.
Yes.
I'll give you
Thanks.
that handle soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for coming by, guys. Sounds awesome.
Thank you.
I think
Thanks
we're
again.
gonna just do one more final question that just popped through, and then we're gonna close out here. So it was John Westbrook from Facebook. He's one of our new friends.
He's a dude.
He is, yeah, he is a dude. He was just asking, like, he has a bunch of friends he wanted to send our way, and do we have like an intro packet to share with? Yeah, so musiconomy.com, musiconomi.com. We have all our social links on the top. We have like a summary of what we're doing, plus a link to our business plan, which goes to Co-Found It's website. And we also have a video, just a teaser video, and we have a new one coming soon from Tristan, who I believe is here as well. And in terms of information, reach out to us on Slack, like anybody who wants more information. Like we're on Facebook, Twitter, Slack. There's a lot of activity. All those links are on the website. So any final words, Brian?
I really want to thank everybody for, you know, showing up today and making it really cool. And Don, thank you so much for being here, and Yan for the awesome question. And yeah, just no, I really want to thank everybody for all their support.
Yes, we're going to be doing more of these. So Elio, I'll leave it to you, man. You close out the show. Say your final words, and we'll fade to black.
I don't think there's much more I can say than what Brian said. Just thank you to everybody, and thanks for showing up. And you know, our plan is to give you something that you're really, really happy with, and you're really going to enjoy for a lot of years to come. So thank you. Stay tuned.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
All right.